Hey class, this is Mrs. Lynn. Welcome to another week of remote learning. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. It was Mother's Day on Sunday, and I hope you guys were able to make it extra special for your moms. Now, this week heading into, I think, week number 8 or 9, I'm losing track. We're going to be starting on our final project for computers for the school year. So you're going to get this assignment on May 12th, I believe, but it's not going to be due until May 21st. So you have about a week and a half to get it done. Seeing that this is your final project of the year, if you were done with it super quick, just make sure you use your time well. You might have missing assignments or incomplete assignments that um, you need to complete and turn in. So make sure you are checking PowerSchool regularly for those assignments. I will not be penalizing any of you for turning in something late because I know the circumstances have been difficult. So as long as you are able to complete an assignment and turning everything in by the 21st of May, you'll get full credit. All right. Now, if you were to complete an assignment and turn it in, but it was full of errors or it's incomplete in any way, then you'll get grades according to the grading policy that was sent out by Mr. Turk a few weeks back. All right. So full credit if everything was done completely and correctly by May 21st. But then you'll get incomplete grades depending on the level of effort you put in. All right. So that's the caveat. You're not going to be penalized for being late, but your grade will your effort will be reflected in those grades. All right, so onto this final assignment. We're going to be in Canva, which we've used before. Um, and we're going to be creating badges that are reflective of your school year. Okay, so it's kind of like a school year in review project that we've done in the past using Google Slides and PowerPoint. But this year, you're going to be creating badges uh, that tell me about your school year and all that you have achieved. All right. So just a quick review of what badges look like. I know most of you would know what they look like, but let's give you an example of a badge. So I have a few badges I pulled up on online. Okay, so these are kind of the badges that you can create um, that celebrate different milestones throughout the year. Here's another example. These are fancier for sure, of different badges that celebrate online learning. Okay, and here are a few more that celebrate specific achievements I think these are computer science badges. Okay, so for example, we did a lot of coding in the past few weeks. So you might have a badge called Programming with Code, okay? And you might create a badge for that. Maybe you've made a lot of digital videos during remote learning for another class. You could have a badge that celebrate that. All right, so these are just some ideas of what you could create as far as badges go, what kind of badges you can make. For this project, you're going to be creating 9 badges. Okay, there were 9 months of the school year, counting from September to May. So it just worked out that we had about 9 months of school. So you can create 9 badges. Now, all your badges do not have to fall within those 9 months. Like you don't have to have one per month, but it was just a easy number to come up with because we had about 9 months of the school year. So what you're going to do is go to Canva. The link will be provided to you in Google Classroom. And then you're going to log in once you're in Canva with your Google School account. All right, this part is really important. I don't really want you to use your personal accounts just because this is part of your school portfolio. So I would rather for everything to be linked to your Google account for school. So make sure you log in with Google. So let me click on that. Now, if you're logging in for the first time to Canva using your GA school account, you might have some pages where you have to give permission to Canva to access your account information, and that's fine to do. I've used Canva using my school account for years, and I've never really had an issue. So go ahead and just, if you have those screens pop up where you have to give Canva permission, just go ahead and give them that permission. But I'm going to go ahead and go into my teacher account. Okay. You know what? Actually, I'm going to use my student account because I know demo student hasn't logged into Canva before. So I just want you to be able to see what happens if you were logging in for the first time. I know we have a couple of new students this year. All right. All right. So it says log in with Google. It looks like it might not have the account information for demo students. So I might actually have to sign up. Let's try that again. All right, so it says we can't find an account. That means we probably have to sign up. So you know what? Let's do that because I know I have a couple new students this year. So let's go ahead and sign up with Google. Then you'll be able to see some of the screens as a new student. All right, so we're signing up using demo student. Okay. All right. What will you be using Canva for? So I'm going to sign up as a student, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click that student choice. I'm going to skip this part that allows me to invite teammates and collaborators. I really don't need to do that at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and click skip. And then it says start your first design. So for this project, you're going to choose, let's see, the poster page. All right, because you need a page that's big enough for 9 badges. Okay, so we're going to choose poster. And that's actually a pretty easy sign up process. I'm already signed in. So if I were to click on home, I'll see that I'm signed in. My account information is there. Now, when I clicked on poster, it's going to ask me to choose a template. You're going to go ahead and click no to that. Just close that box. You're going to start with a blank canvas. Okay. And actually, at this point, I'm going to minimize my video. That way you can see my screen better. All right. So you're going to click close on that template question because we just want a blank page to work with. Okay. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better what my page looks like. Okay. So I'm at 25% right now. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to use a template. In this case, I'm going to actually go to my text tool. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is add a heading for the title to this page. Okay. So now we're doing 9 badges, but your title could be anything like my achievements this year or school achievement badges. You can come up with your own title. This is kind of a boring one for me, but I just want to put that title on there for you to see. You can kind of play with the font and font sizes. There's a lot of free fonts that are available. Anything you see in Canva with that little crown icon means that you have to have a pro account to use. So make sure you're choosing stuff that doesn't have or objects that don't have that little crown. Okay, so here's my title. Okay, I just changed the font there. You can change the font size and the color, just as you would in any sort of Word doc, right? And then we're going to go back to, let's see, our elements tools, okay, to make our first badge. All right, so badges are basically, if you look back on these examples, badges are basically shapes, okay, that has some text and some sort of picture or clip art within that shape. Now, it doesn't have to be these particular shapes, really. It's up to you. Like these badges don't have an outer shape, right? It's got this inside shape with an outer image kind of behind that shape. So the way your badges look like will just depend on your aesthetic. You might have badges that are just little squares with the text and the image inside, and that's totally fine. I just want you to get familiar with the tools that are within Canva, right? So to do our first badge, you're going to go to the elements page, okay, and all your tools are going to be on your left, okay, and you're going to scroll down to where it says shapes, okay, and then you're going to click see all, okay, because that's where you're going to see all the different shapes that are available. So I just want to point out again that remember, most of the things you're going to see, items or objects, are going to be free. It's going to have this free little icon on the corner of your shapes. But if you see anything that's a crown, that means it's pro account only. So you want to avoid those. All right. So let's get our first badge started. I'm going to do one with you to show you some of the different tools that are available in Canva. And you're going to do, but you're going to do basically online on your own. So let's start with an easy shape. We're going to do this circle. So all I had to do was click on that circle, and the circle badge or shape pops up onto my screen. We're gonna do 9. So you can start off with whatever shape you need and then just kind of resize as you go. Okay. So the first shape has been popped onto my screen. When it's selected like that, you'll see the little borders, right? That shows me that it's been selected. Once it's been selected, you can change different aspects of that shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the color. Okay, so when I click on this little square up here, that allows me to change the color. And for now, I'm just going to use our GA colors. Okay, so I'm going to do that green, or maybe this lighter green, okay, for my first batch. And actually, I'm going to make it pretty big right now so you can see better. Okay, and I think I'm going to do a badge for distance learning because I think we've all earned that achievement point. So here's kind of like the first layer of my badge. Now remember, some of these badges, actually all of these badges, consist of different layers, right? Especially these. These are basically layers of objects that you can put onto Canva. Okay, so you might have the first layer being the text, and then another layer being the image. Okay, same thing here. These ones, your first layer might be that initial shape, okay, and then you're putting other layers on top of it. So layers is actually an important concept in desktop publishing. You're going to always put the thing that's on the very bottom layer first, and then you kind of stick other things on top. Okay, so let's see, that is our bottom layer. I can stick in another circle to make it a little bit more kind of not 3D, but just a more layered look. You'll see what I mean. It's kind of hard to explain, but so let's say I want a second circle on top of it to create that border effect. Okay, and I want this circle to be that darker green. Okay, so now I have two circles on top of each other. Okay, now I'm going to try to put in my text. Okay. Now, this one I want it to say something about remote learning because this is my remote learning badge. So when I click on this text tool, you have a couple of different choices. You can go ahead and do everything from scratch, meaning that you can add a heading, just like we did for the title, or subheading, or smaller text. Okay. And when you do that, you can basically change the font sizes and the different fonts as we did with the title. Okay, that's option number one, just doing everything from scratch. The second option is to go scroll down, and Canva has created these font combinations for you. They're very stylized. Okay, so they put together these combinations and kind of did the work for you, right? Like if you look at some of these examples, these font combinations really go well together, okay? And it kind of creates an aesthetic that might speak to you, okay? So you might want to do that route if you're kind of new in Canva and you don't really know a lot about, or if you don't know a lot about graphic design, some of that work is done for you here, okay? So, for example, for my remote learning badge, I really like this cue the confetti font combination. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag it onto my badge. Now, sorry, didn't do that it was just kind of slow. All right, so it's going to pop up onto my page, and I can resize it at this point, okay, to whatever will fit into my badge. I'm gonna make it about that size, okay, because I have to leave room for my graphic, okay, my image that's gonna go into the badge. All right, so once I have that little text template in, I can double click on the text boxes and change the actual wording. So for this badge, I'm gonna change the wording to remote learning, okay. At this point, you could probably just leave it. Mine fits pretty well into my circle or my shape, so I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so the next step is to insert a photo or a clip art into my badge. Okay, now Canva does have a lot of free photographs or images that you can use. So you will just do a search in this search box right here. Okay, so for remote learning is very specific. So I don't know if it would come up with any sort of images I can use. I don't really like any of them. Now, for you, you could do, let's see, even if we just did learning, let's see what pops up. All right. So you can do learning or maybe even computers. Oh, this would be a pretty good image, I guess, to use, and it's free. And you can just kind of click and drag whatever images you need into your graphic. Okay, now I want to show you this. This is a good example to show you, I guess. So let's say you choose this image, right? Well, it is a rectangle and it doesn't really look that great on my badge. Okay, I kind of want my image to just doesn't have this shape, right? I just want my image to flow right onto my badge. I don't want it to be this rectangle, okay? Or I might want my image to like just fill out the circle, right? So the circle and the rectangle together just don't look that great, okay? If you know what I'm saying. All right, so that's something to consider when you're designing something graphically. Like, does it look good to your eye? Does it flow together? And for me, a circle with this like image that's a rectangular shape in the middle of my circle just doesn't look that good. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is to look for what is called a PNG image or a portable, let's see, let me see if I can show you really quick. So a PNG image is basically something that is transparent in the background. And so to do that, I've opened up a Google image search, okay, or Google search, and I typed in remote learning, okay. So if I do that search, I'm going to come up with all these different search results, right? Now, I really like this first image, but I want to make sure that it's transparent in the back. So what happens is you can, under your search bar, go to where it says tools, okay? And when you click on tools, you're going to be able to see, this is kind of the first thing you're going to see. You're going to see click tools, okay? And right here where it says color, you're going to click on it and then choose transparent. Okay. And in that filter, basically every image in your search result will not have a background. Okay, so let me show you what this means. I really like that first image. Now, if I click on that image, okay, you'll see in the back of this image, there are all these little checker boxes. Okay, that tells me that there's actually no background to this image. So when I insert this, all that's going to show up is these little clip art images. Okay, nothing in the back. Okay, so I know that's kind of confusing. It's really hard to explain in a way, but it's basically a transparent image. All right, so let me just show you really quickly how to get this image now into your Canva project. So we're going to click Save Image As. Okay, and all I did there was right click, okay, and save image. And then we're going to name that file name so it's easier for you to find. Okay, so we're going to name it remote learning. And you can see I already have a couple of different remote learning images saved. So I'm going to click save. It's going to say, do you want to replace it? I'm going to say yes for now. Okay. Now I can see in the corner of my screen that my image is being saved. Okay. I'm going to go back to my poster. And I'm going to go where it says uploads. Okay. And this is where I can upload all my images. Okay. So what I'm going to do, it's super easy. Once you have this image down here in the corner, all you have to do is click on it and drag it into your Canva screen. Okay. And then there's my image right there. Okay, you can actually also do it while you're still in your photo page. Canva is pretty user friendly. So even here, I can click and drag an image onto the page and it'll just go to this page directly. Okay, so there's my uploaded image. Oh, there it is. Okay. So now that I have this uploaded image that doesn't have a background, I can click and drag that image onto my badge. Okay, and you'll see the difference now between this image and the one that we tried to insert earlier that has the rectangular shape to it. Okay, so here's the image. As you can see, remember the background is transparent, and that allows me to insert the shape without that background showing up. Okay, so there's my remote learning badge. And again, you can reshape this or resize this however you want and position it however you want. You might want your image to kind of overlap with your text or not. Okay, so it's just however you want to lay out your text or your image. That's part of your aesthetic and your design. Okay, so there we go. That's kind of my first badge. Okay. All right, so I'm a little OCD. Now, notice as I'm resizing this, I'm going to point this out to you. As I'm resizing this, I don't know if you can see the little red line that's showing up in the middle. That's a really good tool to help you line up your objects on your page. So right now, as I'm trying to move this remote learning text box, you'll see that middle line, that red line that shows up. That helps me line my text box up with this image. Okay, so everything is centered when that red line shows up. Okay, so that's another thing to kind of pay attention to as you're playing with Canva. Okay, so that's about it as far as how to get your badges started. Um, if you, I'm really OCD about the spacing of this. All right, so once you have your 9 images done, okay, and remember, if you aren't able to fit all 9 badges onto your page, you can always add a new page down here. Okay, so you're not limited to this one page. Okay, you can actually create more pages as you go. Okay, but once you are done, how I'm gonna ask you to share this project with me is to download the project as a PDF. Okay, actually, there's 2 ways. You can download this project as a PDF. Okay, and that's probably the easiest way. Okay, um, when it's saved onto your computer, it's going to show up again in this lower left-hand corner as the PDF. Okay. Once you have that file saved, you can go back into your Google Classroom assignment page and upload that PDF um, in your assignment page. Okay, and then you can submit that assignment, and then I'll get that PDF from you. Okay, so you're basically going to upload this file that you've just downloaded to your desktop into an assignment page. Okay, the assignment page where you found this assignment, and then submit your assignment that way. Okay, or you can click on this share button. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay, share button, and let's see where it says link sharing. Okay, you want to copy this link, but you want to share this link to view. Okay, because I do not want the ability to change your PDF or your badge by accident. And I don't want other people to be able to get into your page and make changes by accident. Okay, so here's the page that you're going to share. You're going to click share a link to view. Okay, and then once that's been changed, you're going to copy that link. And then you're going to go back to Google Classroom to the assignment page and then share that link with me as a private comment in that assignment. Okay. So 2 ways: you can share the link to your page, or you can download the file as a PDF and sharing it with me by uploading it to your classroom assignment page. Okay, so those are 2 ways you can share this assignment with me. Again, you have up until May 21st to turn this in. Some of you might be done really quickly if you're familiar with Canva already, or if you've done a lot of graphic design work in the past. But you have all the way up to May 21st to turn this in. I can't wait to see your badges. Remember, you're not limited to doing one per month. From September to May. So if you have a month where you feel like you've achieved a lot in that month, you can definitely have multiple badges for that month. The 9 is just a quick and easy number because that's how many school months we had. Okay. All right. If you have any questions about this project, feel free to email me or send me a comment using the Google Classroom comment feature. And I'll be happy to walk through anything with you in a Zoom meeting or through email. But have fun with this project. I know you guys are super creative and you can come up with multiple badges. And again, this doesn't have to be limited to school achievements. If you are in a sport or you do some sort of community service project, through church or something like that, definitely use those as your badges as well. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. All right, so have fun, stay home, stay safe, and I will see you next week. Talk to you later.